What is up, everybody? Party people in the house tonight. It's your boy, Alpha Magna, wearing the jacket and some bling today because we're gonna be talking about finances, and we're gonna be talking about Bitcoin. We're gonna be talking about the crypto market and where this train is a rolling. Now, if you read the title, I had up Rick and Morty as well. Why? Because you got a great chance to binge watch Rick and Morty right now on Adult Swim as they get ready for, I think, what is season 5. I'm not 100% sure, but that that is genius programming. I do not watch TV hardly ever because I'm always busy learning shit. Because there's only so much bandwidth in the day, and bandwidth is one of those cool tech terms and entrepreneurial terms that get bandied about in that world, in those worlds. And what it means is uh, it refers to it refers to computer bandwidth in the human form, which is a 24-hour period, and how you only have so much time and you need to manage it. And what are you spending your time on? Are you, but you work all the time, or do you stop and smell the roses? What is your work life balance like? And we discuss this in, in personal development and business development. And you kind of want to achieve the best of both worlds. You want to achieve and have your cake and eat it too. And sometimes, well, let me pull down my sleeve so you guys can see the bling here. Sometimes you can't achieve it all, but it still is a worthy choice to try. And let's jump over to hello viewer out there. I see you. I'm opening up the comment section. um what did I post? Well, let's see. I'm gonna post it again in the comment section. Oh wait, this is a little blast out right there for Rick and Morty. Shout out to that show because it's effing brilliant. And I just binge watched a couple hours of it. And you know what? I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all because it's freaking hilarious and absolutely ingenious. And like you learn other world theory and quantum physics. There, I'll say it. And beyond that, I mean, man, it just goes to levels that really nothing else goes to. So man, shout out to Rick and Morty. I need to get the t-shirt, and and I would continue binge watching it, honestly, even though it's quite early in the morning here on the East Coast. However, I realized that I can just buy the seasons. I can buy season 1 through season 4, and I absolutely 100% intend to do that so that I can watch them when I want to watch them. Right now, there is a 24-hour stream of it at the link that I posted at Adult Swim so that you can catch up. And they're playing them in sequence, and it's just brilliant. Anyway, that's what not is this. Why did you come here? Why did you come here to see me right now? Did you come here to hear me talk about that? Maybe you came here to learn something about BTC and VRC. Yes, VRC, the Vericoin or Veracity. Is this what it is? We got to learn about this. So I thought, as I started going around and I'm thinking, I'm thinking, what is my strategy? And at the end of the day, that's the only strategy that I care about because I'm me and you're you, and we're different people. And I could show you everybody that all the different currencies, or which each token represents a different company that I am investing in. But I kind of wanted to discuss what you should invest in and what the logic is that maybe you might want to follow. And I think that we're all questioning ourselves about. And that is the idea that there are certain market movers. And in the world of cryptocurrency, there is no doubt that the king right now in 2021 is BTC, Bitcoin. It is not BCH. It's not Bitcoin Cash. It's Bitcoin. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that there was a fissure, a fission, a splitting of the team, if you will, back in the day that hatched the Bitcoin Cash. And there's a lot of dialogue that goes around that. And really, I would like to bring that to you and talk to you guys about it in future episodes, because as you know, basically the idea is that as I learn, I think you should learn. And why not just make that the case? Now, traditionally, my videos kind of go on and on and on. And as I as I kind of do technical analysis and we do chart analysis, and I hope you find it somewhat entertaining. But I'm trying to become let more of my own personality come through and have fun with this. The people, because the people that I like to watch on YouTube, that's what they're doing. They're themselves, but they're going to break it down. They're going to give you the technical analysis, but not without the jokes. And you know, the strategy behind that is also admirable, and I think brilliant, because you know, we always have to say that this is just for entertainment purposes only. This is not technical analysis. We have to put through that disclaimer so that we don't get sued by somebody who goes, I was just doing what Alpha Magna told me when I mortgaged my house for Bitcoin, Bitcash, Bit whatever the cryptocurrency is that, you know, flavor of the day that we mentioned. And the reality is that you have to make your own choices as an adult. However, we are at a crossroads, not a crossroads, at a maybe a fork in the road of history right now. We are seeing a chance to kind of like go back in the quantum clock to early 1980, when the internet was being talked about, 1985, and moving from the late 80s into 90s, where we haven't even seen the birth of Microsoft yet. And but we did see I'm sorry, we have seen the birth of Microsoft. We haven't seen the birth of no, we haven't seen the birth of Microsoft, but we have seen the birth of uh Apple, Macintosh. We have not seen the birth of Macintosh. We have seen the birth of Microsoft. Microsoft, Macintosh, Microsoft. They both sprung on the scene about the same time. And if you were in the stock market at that time, you might not have put your money on Apple Mac. However, it, you know, you fast forward, hindsight's 2020, and you fast forward 20 years, 20 being the pretty important numerology right there. You would see that Apple kind of really, I mean, they both crushed. Let's face it, they both just crushed. But Apple was the darling and the sweetheart of the stock market and the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq kind of props up the stock market. So the stock market kind of follows the Nasdaq, and the crypto world market, the cryptoverse kind of follows. Well, it is affected by the actual stock market, Nasdaq as well. But in our world, our shining star is Bitcoin. And I say our world because, you know, I want to pay attention to this world. I have fun paying attention to this world. I have fun speculating on what technology may form the future of our world, of our democratized, decentralized future. And that's why I like to invest in these companies. Now, I want to talk about the cash flow quadrant right now, and how, you know, going back to bandwidth, that we all trade our time for money, and that we all have to work doing something to perform our collective communities, and to participate in that collectively. So that's great. But, you know, I want to travel the world, and that takes money. So rather than playing guitar and making art, which I love to do, and I don't want to taint that by making it my moneymaker. Um, I figured that the next best thing is to figure out another way that I can make money for me. So investments are what we're talking about. So this is where you invest in a vehicle, in a machine that can make money for you while you sleep through leverage. And this is a key aspect of physics, leverage, levers, and getting things to work in your favor by investing. Everything's energy, and everything's the transfer of energy. So doing work, the definition of work on a scientific basis is the transfer of energy from one medium or matter to another. It doesn't need to physically be you, and it doesn't need to be physically be your time to be defined work. It could be your mental energy that you are um, researching and figuring things out to get that leverage, to get your money where you're making money over here in this industry, but instead of just blowing it on frivolous things, you're stockpiling it to create something that you can leverage into more money. And that's what investing is. And there is different analysis. There's technical analysis where we look at the charts and try to uh, make predictions on the short term, medium, and long term. And even, of course, the short term being like day trading. You guys hear those terms, or short term trading, which is like a weekly speculation. And then beyond that, there is a great science fiction novel that's called The Foundation. And that I think about that whenever I talk about technical analysis versus fundamental analysis. And fundamental, man, it affects it on the day to day. If you're doing day trading, you really have to pay attention to what's in the news. That is fundamental analysis. What are people saying on the web? There is a new website called Lunar Crush, in which they attempt to statistically analyze what is being said on um, on the news. And it's on this tab right here. As you can see, I have up. They're not gonna ban me because I'm showing this video. I want to keep this running on this episode because I'm not. I did mention it, but I have this streaming to my TV over there as well, and I don't have the sound on because I would be binge watching this, and this is kind of where I left off. I got to see the Pickle Rick episode, by the way, tonight, which just that's such a famous one. And it is brilliant, but so many of them are absolutely brilliant. I just big huge fan of that show. But for now, let's enlarge this. Let's close this and let's jump into Lunar Crush and just take a quick look at our sponsor, Lunar Crush. It is not our sponsor. We are not sponsored by Lunar Crush. That was a joke about the future, because wouldn't that be cool to be sponsored by Lunar Crush? I have no idea what they would sponsor me with or what they would do, but I want to explore this website. If anybody explores this website, any of my viewers out there, let me know if you dig it and what you learn as we speculate together. So I think what we're seeing here is, this waves. I hear this being talked about a lot. Rarible. Okay, so they got their own coin. So this is NFT Central, and man, they're getting traded for $7.88 already. So this is kind of a racetrack. The way I see this, there's Engine. I do own some Engine. This is like a racetrack, and each of these companies are like horses, and they're some of them are running directly against each other for in like the Oracle, which is going to emerge as the next Oracle or the next Dex, decentralized exchange. Is it Polkadot? Is it MetaMask? So and and man, is it fun to see what's happening with staking as we move away from these energy consuming hardware devices that's traditional mining. And there's so much happening in the space right now and so much speculation. And then we have um, we have Senator Warren talking about um, oh, it's like the wild, wild west out there, whatever that means. Again, just like man, they love to drum up like these visuals of kind of fear. Oh my God, you're gonna get shot in the street. Yeah, maybe use that whenever you're talking about the United States and our gun problem. How about that as a wild, wild west and the freaking cops that are just overstepping their bounds, and we see them in the news every day as well. I mean, it is kind of like a wild, wild west out there. But as far as the gold rush, that part of the wild, wild west, yeah, I think that decentralized exchanges are kind of like a gold rush, and that we are kind of in that way back machine moment of the early 90s or the late 80s where nobody kind of knows what's going to happen, but we all know that the computer is going to change the world. And when you look at games like the early games like that were Atari and Coleco and those things, and you see those graphics and you kind of you think, is that a computer, and how does that integrate with the internet, and what is this, and how are we going to communicate? Now we see it. We see the gamification. There's so much gamification and learning and now in trading, and it's reached the point today that we can actually take away some of the power. We have an opportunity right now to take away some of the power from the banks, from the central banks that lobby our government officials. And I posted a post on Twitter. Let me see if I can bring this up because let's see. Home. Can I click on this? All right. So there's me. Uh, there's my real name in case you want to stalk me. There's me with my diamond eyes, my laser eyes, and I don't have no Ethereum in that picture. It's all BTC. But oh, shout out to my boy that's creating a new show on YouTube called Moonies, not the Moonies. It's just Moonies. So you can click on that if you follow me. But yeah, here it is. So this person, Cameron Winklevoss, can we zoom in on this? Is there a way to zoom? StreamYard, if you're watching this, can you give me a way to zoom? Oh, I could just do it like that. Okay, we'll do it like that. So, so here's my post about a 1 out from 1 hour ago. I saw that Pickle Rick episode is playing. Just shout out for everybody on that. But hey, who's remembering who's paying the bills? Or are they just cup rattling? I think it's time that the Bitcoin whales pony up and maybe hire some lobbyists themselves. That's what I take away from this comment from a Bitcoin whale, undoubtedly the Winklevoss twins. So, should I follow? Should I follow? We'll follow you. Okay. But yeah, for someone who he posts, for someone who is trying to reform, who is trying to reforming the banking system. Oopsie, Cameron. Elizabeth Warren is sure sounding like their mouthpiece. And I'm not going to bust on him because, he went to Harvard, right? Is that what it is? And we all make typos. But this is not proper grammar for someone who is trying to reforming the banking system, who's trying to reform. It's just reform, Cameron. But I do agree with you. Bitcoin and crypto is the answer, not the enemy. Agree with you. However, pony up and buy some lobbyists to control the words that are, if not control, at least influence the words that are coming out of Senator Warren's mouth. Because that's how the game's played. So let's not be naive. She's either remembering who's paying the bills. She might have got a phone call. How do they play the game at that level? I mean, how do they play the game? Was she threatened to say something, or did she do that voluntarily, or was she bribed? Because people act in their own best interests when it's in their best interest to do so. My suggestion, Bitcoin whales, is get a spokesperson, figure it out. And if you're not a Bitcoin whale, if you got a company that's in the top 20 list right now, yeah, form some type of union. I don't know, but get some people on the Hill that host some pretty cool parties, and invite Senator Warren over a glass of her favorite adult beverage and some fancy hors d'oeuvres in a beautiful setting somewhere around DC, and woo her about what's happening here. Yeah, it is a gold rush. And it is decentralizing and it is democratizing the wealth flow, because right now, if you're watching me, that means you're paying attention. You're paying attention like I haven't been for the past 3 years, and kind of wish I would have been, kind of wish I hadn't. You know what? I bought in with as much wealth as I could afford to back in 2018. And that 5x'd for me, and that gave me more play money. So I made a good play, but I thought I'm not going to look at this for 5 years. Wasn't really fully aware of the Bitcoin halving. Didn't need to hold it for 5 years. It was only 4 years. And that it halved in 2020. So that was like 2 years. And then it took us much time to catch up. So, history repeats itself kind of when it comes to this tech. So I think right now we're looking at if Bitcoin moves the market, which it clearly does, you want to be in. And there's a lot of cool strategies out there regarding how to kind of hedge your bets with fundamental analysis, between fundamental analysis and technical analysis, and we should look at that in another episode as well. And I will more appropriately name these episodes as we look specifically at some things. But right now, what I wanted to talk about, and one of the things that I put in the title of this was this Veracity coin. And I'm like, well, what is it? Because I see it popping up a lot of places. Well, here's what it is. It's a coin that apparently holds some value and some promise. Now, you have to be careful when you're going into the crypto verse, that you're not getting hoodwinked, that somebody's doing basically a pump and dump. Okay. Because the pump and dump start early, and it starts with the fundamentals. It starts with news. It starts with hype. It starts with getting that momentum and getting people to believe that this is the long shot that you want to buy a lot of. Because if you have a chance to 10x your money, if one of these is going to make it through, because a few of these horses are going to make it through. And if your money's on the right one, you get to 10x it. But if you only got $10 and 10 times 10 is 100, you only made $100. But if you had 10,000, your 10,000 just turned into 100,000. If you bet it all on the same horse, if you put all of your eggs in the same basket, as the saying goes. Well, if you drop that basket, you lose all your eggs. But with great risk comes great reward. This is speculation. This is what we're doing. And I think the safest bet, but it's not going to have the highest percentage of movement because it's already a behemoth, is Bitcoin. But what about Bitcoin Cash? Now, I've been looking into Bitcoin Cash because there's a couple different um, camps on this, and Roger Ver is. Should we look at him? Should we pull him up on the twit? There's a couple different camps here, and there's the Bitcoin camp, and then there's like the Bitcoin Cash camp, and they do different things. But here's my thing. Here's what I was thinking about today, and post in the comments. Tell me what you think about this. Oh my god. Sorry, the screen over there was doing something. Here's my thoughts. Okay, the Bitcoin people right now, it made plenty of people very, very rich. If we truly want to if we want true decentralization and to democratize the wealth flow, maybe it's time that Bitcoin isn't our store of value. Maybe we don't buy into that narrative and continue to enrich the big whales that are holding Bitcoin. What if we switched on them as the retail investors? We don't follow their narrative, and we say, we're going to spread the wealth around. You got to keep it, cash some out, and be happy that you're very, very wealthy. But we're not going to make you billionaires, not billionaires, because we don't believe in billionaires anymore with a B. We don't want billionaires. Billionaires hurt the economy. You know why they hurt the economy? Because you have too much damn money that you take it out of circulation and you strangle the economies in which we all rely on. That's right. Because just like the human body that needs its blood to circulate, we need a store of value, whether it be cash, gold, or whatever. But those dollar bills, that circulate need to represent some type of store of value. And we need it to be strong, but most importantly, we need it to circulate. And when you hoarders think you're justified as billionaires to take it out of circulation and bank it, you do it at the expense of the working class. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. That's what this whole movement is about. And do you take out one behemoth to create another? Is this what we're doing with Bitcoin? Can we ask the deeper questions here? I'm asking them. I'd love to hear your answers if anybody stayed around this long. I almost want to end the broadcast, make a new title, and just address that right there, because that's a show unto itself. That's a discussion unto itself. If there's anybody out there, I would love to hear your answers. So post them up. Let's get this discussion going, because it's a question worth asking. I mean, if we have Bitcoin right now that stratosphered up into, $65,000 a coin, do we want to make it a six-figure coin? Because those who bought it at 30 cents are going to become billionaires. So are we falling prey to their game? Maybe we go to the fork that was Bitcoin Cash that's now trading at $650 and make that the store of value that moves the crypto market, not forever, but for a while. Maybe until it gets up to $60,000, $50,000 a coin, and then we dump it and we move over to the next great thing, maybe Cardano. What do you think about that? What if we move our money from store of value to store of value? Because it's all fiat. It's all bullshit. Fiat means fake. Fiat means something representing something else, but it's not the real thing. So if it's going to be arbitrary and we all are buying into the narrative that gold as a precious metal might have better uses in some type of other application rather than being hoarded, like making the phones and such. There's gold in here. There's gold in in all the stuff we need in space, and nobody knows whether there's gold in Fort Knox anymore. Fort Knox hasn't been audited in like 20 years. And you have Area 51 come down. You have all this technology that sprung out of nowhere, and it requires precious metals to develop this tech. The military wanted it. They moved on it. They knew a way that they needed some type of cover to keep developing it, and so they released some level of it to us. Uh, that is what the internet is. I mean, it started again in the military, and man, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see how everything plays out and speculate on all of these grand chess moves that are being played. From our low level little ant perspective, we cannot always see the bigger picture, okay? Because you're down in it. And when you don't have a lot of money, that's how it is. I get it, working class. I get it. I'm from the working class and I'm not wealthy yet. Um, but I'm going to die trying. And if I have my way, I will take as many of you as I can with me. So you can follow me as a CEO over on Sage Alliance, which we look to decentralize the rideshare industry, merge it with opportunities through governance through voting rights. And we are human centric. So we're going to do things different. And we hope to disrupt the industry, the transportation industry once again. And so there's a lot of changes I want to incorporate with that business, but we're not here to talk about that today. What I want to talk about, again, I really want to keep this to analysis, technical analysis, fundamental analysis. Now, it may seem that I was wandering all over the board as I was speaking, but was I? Because that all plays into fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is the public conversation. It is a conversation that happens that guides people to buy this, that, and the other. And when you only have so much coin, let's call it USD, fiat currency, baby, American dollar, it's traded against other currencies. When you are not in the stock market, you don't even realize that. You just hope whoever it is keeps propping it up, because you're going out there and collecting the garbage or flipping those burgers or doing whatever the hell you're doing, working in some restaurants, swabbing the decks at the beer halls. And all that stuff's important. Maybe you work in medicine, maybe you're a nurse, maybe you work in a big hospital system. There's other bullshit middlemen out there that do all this mediation work, whether it's lawyers or whether it's I don't want to say government, because this is all important, but the thing is there's lots of jobs out there in which that need done, and man, it's hard to say what's more important than the other, but insurance is one of those things that not a lot of people like to pay, and those that run those industries, they seem to profit pretty well, and that's going to be democratized. That's really high on the list for decentralization. And some of the prospects, some of the companies that I see working in that space right now, we have a real coin flip, whether we're heading towards utopia or dystopia. And I think the same could be said with the medical industry. And that, as we discover more and more about what our potential is, our human potential, and our economic potential becomes in question as more blue collar jobs get eliminated, and now even the computers are coming for the white collar jobs. So with AI, the jobs, you're safer being a plumber right now than you are being a tax accountant. Okay. And having that degree. So as a human, when you go into college, you think, or, should I go into trade school? Should I go into college? Uh, Man, our world's changing. So one of the things you can do to hedge your bets are to invest in some of these companies. There's so many of them, though. There's so many of them, and you only so have so much U.S. dollars, so much fiat to go around. So where do you put it? I mean, do you want to put in BTC or do you want to put in BCH? I mean, I don't know. I want to have this conversation with those with other people in the group, and I think I'm gonna float this out on Twitter. I have like no followers though. So right now at this point of time, uh, you know, I hope that that becomes a laughable quote a year from now, and who knows, it might if I stick at this. Otherwise, it's June 11th, 2021 right now. So we'll see what happens with my future as it becomes more public and you follow along. And I invite you into my studio to have these discussions. And so let's jump back to the screen and move away from Twitter. Lunar Crush is, again, I think this is really cool. Let's see what's on the favorites right now. So 0x1inch, the Akash network is up there. Audix, Bat Token, that's cool. That runs Brave, which is a cool web browser in which you can opt into watching commercials. And the commercials that you do watch, you actually get profit sharing. You earn profit, not just the network. This is a great idea for a fast follower company. Let me explain to you guys what a fast follower company is, because that's what I'm working on building with Sage in the rideshare space. Is right now where you had disruption of the taxi industry, which was around for a good long time. Okay, well over 50 years. I mean, you could say 100 years. I don't know, whatever. Transportation is a big industry. Before it was motorized taxis, it was horse and buggies, right? People get me from point A to point B. I want to go here. I want to go there for whatever reason, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a movie. Couples use them a lot, right? People use them get from work, point A to point B, in a big city when you don't want to have to fuck around finding parking spaces and getting towed and all that bullshit. So, Uber and Lyft, Lyft is a carbon copy of Uber. Let's face it. It does everything Uber does. Their business models are freaking mirror copies of each other. They're ripe for disruption. They've been around for 10 years and they certainly have not democratized the wealth flow. So that's what people want now. And I want to help give it to them. So, when you're a middleman, you shouldn't be taking the bulk of the profits to become some type of world shaper. Like, do your job. We're going to create an app that connects riders to drivers and acts as small as possible in the middle to facilitate that transaction. By doing that, we can put more money in the pockets of the drivers by being competitively priced with these juggernauts that were world creators and had those world creation ambitions. But they're overextended now. They can't charge less than the fares they're charging. I read an article today. I would pull it up on the screen, but it's on my phone. I might be able to pull it up, actually. Hold on, because I did send it to a friend. Let's see if I can pull it up. But I could certainly summarize it. And the summary of it is that that Uber and Lyft's to transport people after this. What the hell is this thing making me log in for? Are you kidding? Ugh. Maybe I can't show this to you, but the article was by a company called Futurism, and the article stated that these companies are coming back. Excuse me. After 2020, and their rates are going to go up because they need to show a profit. They haven't. It's been 10 years they haven't shown a profit because they've been trying to world build, because they've been trying to build automated vehicles, self-driving vehicles, even flying vehicles. I mean, they so overextended. They wanted to take over the world. They wanted to be transportation name known around the world, and Uber succeeded at that. Lyft, not so much, but and the reality is that these other countries are like, no, we're going to do our own rather than having you vacuum all our money back to the US. We're going to do it here because that's how local economies need to uh structure you. For it's economics 101. If you want your economy to thrive, then the dollars, your currency, needs to circulate. And when you take it out of circulation, you're hurting your local economy. There's no two ways about it. Um, so good for them for building their own rideshare companies. And the reality is that the tech exists to to do that now. And when you're a fast follower company, you have the opportunity to do it differently, because the rules have changed. So my hat's off to all of these companies that are in, all these coins represent tech companies. And I see Cardano on here, Boson. I haven't looked this up. There's so many of them. My point is that you can't, if you spread your money across all of these, you're not going to get that home run hit to change your life. But like I own Chainlink, I own some Cello, I own Cosmos, I own some Cody, I own a lot of Cody. Oh my God, Dragon Chain's on there. That's hilarious. Good for them. Engine. So, man, here's Helium. I can't believe that Dragon Chain is higher than Helium. That's pretty amazing. And it's higher than, is it higher than Kasama? Well, it's not higher than Kasama, because if you look at what Kasama is being traded for, it's being traded $464 a token, where somehow Dragon Chain, I I don't know why it's so high right now on the popularity list. Oh, excuse me. It's early in the morning, folks. Cut me a break. No, my gosh. Here's my portfolio, and this is a kind of a portfolio tracker. It's not accurate as to what I have in my portfolio, but I didn't want to. I it was just boring to put in like everything that I'm invested in, but I put in a lot. So let's check it out. I have a lot of Chainlink. I have a lot of Cardano. I have a lot of Internet Computer. I lost a lot of money, paper money, on Internet Computer and Chainlink, and and even some on Cardano's I'm doing all right on. But these companies, they have futures. Am I going to get back the money that I put into it? I mean, I hope that it pumps enough that I do. And I was going long on these, thinking that these would give me higher returns than putting it in Bitcoin. And the rest of these, I just bought a little bit of, um, because, look at that. I do have some veracity, because I've heard about them and I haven't had time to do the research on all these. Uniswap, Polkadot, these are dexes. Which one's going to win? I mean, this is the conversation. This is what we're all speculating on. But my what I want to say to you is get your money in the game regardless of what it is. Let's read what VRC is, because this is the latest one. I was like, what is this? I see this popping up a lot. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that VRC is trading. Let's pull up Gate. Pull up Gate, which is, I hate that this is based in China because they have such crazy rules, but it is, to me, the just the kind of the most intuitive platform right now as an exchange for me to see what's going on. All right. So what I want to do is we'll just pop in the markets over here. Oh, excuse me. Bitcoin. Yawns are contagious. You're yawning right now. Is trading at 37.4, 37.6. So I predicted it would come up, test at 38, and maybe even get to the top of the triangle and break through 40. But I believe it'll come back down. I just don't believe that there's enough fundamentals to push it over 40 right now. It's too much in the news, and you have dumb people, or either dumb people or bought out people like Elizabeth Warren that's saying things against it. So any momentum chance that it had, fundamentally, she's just stealing energy from the movement of BTC to get there. So this finally showed up, but it doesn't have any of my charts, my charting. So we'll refresh it. And being that I'm streaming and I'm doing both right now from a laptop, that's pretty impressive use of this thing's 8 cores, which aren't even a true 8 core system that I have. So I guess it's not going to show me, it's not going to do everything that I want it to do as fast as I want it to do. This is a daily chart. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour. All right. So last time we looked at it, it was down here. You have a matching candle. It moves above the this above the moving averages and pushes through all of them. And hooray, hooray for BTC. That's cool. And for some reason, I don't know why this is not pulling down my charting, but I don't want to bother with it. Let's I did want to take a quick look at it. It is in the title. We're going to call that the look right now, but I can tell you where it is right now based on price is at the top of the triangle. It is testing the top of the triangles that I've drawn in my other episodes, and you will see again. Don't worry. The channel that is trading between right now is approximately 31,000 to about 41,000, and it will ping pong between those two numbers. I believe it will test 38. If it would have hit 40 and got rejected, the faster it went up, I believe the faster it would have come down. I think it is going to test 30,000 again sooner than later. I think it's a good time to pick some up. However, you might want to wait until it breaks down in the 20s. With right or wrong fundamental analysis, you know, people in the news, I mean, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, whether it's Elon Musk or Elizabeth Warren, you know, if they said that when it's challenged and testing the support level of 30, well, you would see we could see BTC go down into the next bracket down and start bouncing between that horizontal 2030 kind of range, which would be more like a 25,000 range as the next foundation down. Maybe as low as 28, but I believe if it breaks through 30, it'll definitely test 28, and then it'll go down to the 20s and find a new support level around 25 and a resistance level around right around that 30 again, before it would be able to break into the channel up above it, which we're currently trading in. If that makes sense, I don't have any visuals up for you, but let's take a look here and see if we can get this up. Okay. VRA, Veracity. Let's see what's up with this coin. This is what it's trading at right now, okay? So 0.016. That is 1.5 pennies, people. You could buy a lot of it for that. Do I have any of it? Well, let's click on a number, hit 100, and I bought $14 worth, which gave me 861 VRA. That's a lot. This is what you call a damn long shot. You know, because again, like $15, if this reaches $1, right? I just made $861 from a $14 investment. So it pays for, a lot of these coins can become like pyramid schemes with you know various influencers around YouTube and around the internet just saying its name because they bought into it, and they know what they stand to win. So it's kind of like insider trading, and you have a lot of this when you're in the public eye, and you know you can control the fundamentals. Why did I bought this just because it came across my radar so much, and I was like, whatever, let me just pick some up. But let's take a look at this coin and see what it says. It says Veracity is an attention based platform for gaming, video, and entertainment rewards, committed to creating and programming a new economy where transactions are powered by Veracity for the benefit of gamers, viewers, advertisers, and brands. Now, that said, this is where, for fundamental analysis, the best fundamental analysis, the valuable fundamental analysis is to go to their website. Okay. Here's these resources. Website, zoom that in for you. The website, so they got a wallet, they got a forum, they got a white paper, and a GitHub. Okay, so unless you're technical, you don't want to go on GitHub. I'm surprised that they don't have Discord listed on there, but they might have it on their website. Let's check out their website. And I probably need to. Nope, it's loading at 100%, I think. All right, so this is where they talk about this. Now, here's the thing, there's going to be a lot of people trying to become the big shit in this space. But that's where this all is right now. We just get a chance to bet. They want to be in the betting industry, esports, video entertainment, right? So what is this? When you see the trophy on the right side of the video turn green, claim these rewards by clicking on the trophy and creating a rewards Vera wallet account. VRA earned by viewing videos is paid out immediately. Okay, that's a pretty cool idea. Turn green though. That's not green. That ain't green. I'm gonna wait for it to turn green so I can get me a reward. So gamification process of earning stuff, earning tokens, making it a game. You can earn tokens. Tokens have always been involved in gaming. And you can earn rewards. And so you can earn to watch stuff. Now, look at this. VRA rewards production layers integrated for the following video players. Man, they really did their homework. They're far ahead of the game. And for that to be trading at, 1.5 pennies, they must have a lot out there. Okay. So that's what's up with that. This is never gonna. If this is a token that's meant to be used on these and people can give them away, Twitch is a great platform, but also YouTube and Vimeo. I mean, they're on all, and these other ones I haven't heard of. Maybe they're used in other countries, but they're really, man, do they have a lot of traction? So I could see why people are buying the hype. They have a beautiful website. Yeah, that's right. We finally made it to VRA. We're almost an hour in, and if you showed up for this, I don't know if there's a way for me to cut this into smaller episodes. I would love to do that. If I had a work assistant, I would tell them, go into my YouTube video and put time code on it. I should do that because I don't have an assistant. But this is the part where I would talk about VRA. And again, their roadmap, very nice. Okay, so you got some info up here, like what it's ranked, what its current volume is. 50. There's a dollar sign in front of it. 50 million. There's an M after it, so it's not $50. It's 50 million. And then you scroll down. They got video. You can learn about it here. Tells you a little bit about their mission is to significantly increase engagement and advertising revenues for video publishers on any video platform. and they have VRA rewards on a product layer, proprietary video layer, a proprietary ad stack layer, a proof of view protocol layer. POView is the only protocol layer patented technology for the blockchain. Good for them, they're innovative, and they got a Vera wallet to, where you can these layer three wallets. They're going to I guess that's what they're called. I'm not 100% sure. I've seen this something three wallets. The idea is that, they need to integrate. You're going to be using MetaMask, and eventually what you want to do, what the goal is here, is to wherever you spend your time, you can earn those tokens, and those tokens will have their own value, and then you can exchange them for in other places for other tokens, whether it and not necessarily Ethereum. It could be Ethereum, it could be Bitcoin, but it could be Cardano, could be any number of other layer two coins or layer three coins. And in this way, this is how we reach a democratized wealth flow, because where you spend your time, there's so many different places where you can become experts in life. And for you to be rewarded by putting your time in there is a wonderful thing. And just like, back in the day with the way trading always has been, is like, if I'm a baker and I bake bread and you're a chicken farmer that raises eggs, well, eggs and toast go awesome together. So you want to focus on making the best eggs that you can. And I want to focus on making the best bread that I can. And we both win, because I can get some of your eggs for free by giving you some of my bread for free. And the retail value, I'm getting more value in that exchange, because um, it doesn't need to sit on a shelf. I don't need to pay an intermediary. It's a direct trade. And so when you deal in direct trades, you can get more value, and we're cutting out the intermediary, the store that needs to have it sit on a shelf for a day and take up room, and hope somebody buys it or it goes to waste. That whole kind of like, we're trimming the fat, we're cutting the waste, we're getting rid of these guys in the middle that wanted to be decision makers and take all this money and kind of steer what society is to become. Now, we got to be careful with this. Like I said, I want to bring it back to that Bitcoin Cash decision, because um, do we continue to allow, like, this is all happening on Ethereum chains right now. Most of this work is happening on ERC. I think ERC is where the value is right now. I don't own as much ERC as I should. I should probably have 10 grand in ERC right now. I have a quarter of that. And I should, and Bitcoin, I think, is going to survive this round, but I don't think it's going to, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know what it's going to do 4 years from now. I really don't. I mean, if it makes it to the six-figure coin, it might just dissolve, and what do we need it for? As a store of value. I mean, I just don't know if that's the future. I want to have some conversations with people about that for real. But I do see this layer three stuff that's being built on Ethereum, and I know that Cardano's coming up. I know that Polkadot's coming out, and Binance. They all have their layer two solutions on which layer three solutions can be built upon, with faster transaction speeds, et cetera, et cetera. And this is like the new currency. It's not about like, I just don't know if it's about like having to convince everybody that Bitcoin is worth something, because I just, man, I don't know. I'm struggling with that right now. I think I'd rather see value in usefulness rather than value for value's sake. The thing with art, and that's a different thing. I understand that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that if we can all agree that something's valuable, that it's valuable. And whether that's the Mona Lisa or whether that's a Mickey Mantle baseball card, there are other things that are more practical. But how practical are they? Let's talk about the Eiffel Tower. This is something where, like, what purpose does it serve, rather than it being a landmark that we like to go and get our pictures taken by it, and it generates revenue for all the businesses that surround that landmark. This is interesting and silly when you look at it that way. um, why do we collect things? Why do we hoard? What is, it's to create this sense of value and keep it going around, when the real value is in like intellect and like certainly medicine and different things like that. I think these are good places to invest as well. Most of those are off of the scope of crypto right now. They're out of the scope of crypto. You have to go into like the New York Stock Exchange and regular exchanges to invest in those more traditional type of technology. Excuse me. But if you want to talk about decentralized finance, this is the playing field. And Bitcoin currently holds the ball and is running downfield and has a lead. So that's where we are today. We looked at VRA as, something that has a lot of a really cool website and a cool idea as a layer 3 idea. They have some staking rewards, uh, and they have their roadmap published here, dating back to 17. I like that they keep their whole roadmap up, and you could see as they check things off. This is sweet, and here we are at 21, and look there. This is interesting. Like, they don't have anything more past like where we are now. What the hell? But the green check mark stopped back here in quarter one. So quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. Okay, so I guess they're on monthly community tournaments with newly signed partners. They're moving into player statistics for EFCs, customizable streamer influences, dedicated pages on Esports Fight Club, branded highlight tournaments, customized white label areas for brands, partner pages, and tournaments. I would love to incorporate some of this in our Sage vehicles. Why not? White label solutions for EFC tournaments, additional reward system to allow partners to add physical prizes to tournaments, and in-game advertising with gaming partnerships. Then they're going to move into Esports Fight Club players matching, direct communication channels. They're moving to this stuff. Here's NFTs. They are getting into this world. It's probably added here in Q4. And I wouldn't surprise me if we see this build out further. But as they move forward, but this is the extent of their forward thinking is 3 quarters ahead, which in technology, I guess you don't want to forecast more than that. It's probably a good model. But let's see, Esports Fight Club, addition of in-game cosmetics and in-game currencies purchase through Store VRA. So they're telling you right there, like these are physical products that they want to make available, and there's a market. And there's probably willing buyers there for some revenue streams from CoverGirl and whatever else. So this is what is up with their roadmap. And but if this is again like the token that's going to be used for the exchanges on all the gaming, I mean, you can't expect it to get that high. So I'm not going to buy $1,000 worth of this or anything. And maybe 4 years from now that was a mistake. But here's the thing: I just want to look again. Is like there's I'm holding currently a little bit of all these things. Okay, when you hold a little bit of something, even if it 100x's, if you only have $1 of it, you only made $100. You have to kind of go all in on something. So you want to pick the best horse. Everybody's trying to say, oh, it's Bitcoin. I mean, it's not even Ethereum anymore. I thought it was ICP, but this is my total loss right now on that. I lost $5,000 on getting in this too early. If I would have waited, I could have had that $5,000, $4,720 liquid to put somewhere else that was something that was more mature. That's the thing. Like ICP, internet computer, might have a future 5, 10 years from now. But why did I buy that to hodl when we're still in a short term run game and I could still do day trading? I honestly thought, and I thought it saw the bottom, which was kind of an amateur move on my part. Hindsight's 2020, even when 20 is 20 days old. Okay, because when I bought that, I lost like that money in like a month, like 5,000, 5 grand. Okay, because that needs to pop back up, and I put so much money in it, it froze my account until it reaches what I bought that for, and whatever internet ICP is currently trading at, it's like a third of what I had now. So it's frustrating. I had like 10 grand in that. And it's like, what's this trading at? Let me see here. Current price. Oh my God. Awful. I love these stats though. I really need to study this site, Lunar Crush. We got to spend some time on this, learning this together, folks. But for now, um, I want to conclude this episode. I do need to get some rest before I move on with my day. But comment on how you like my jacket. This is like a nice summertime jacket, and it is a Tommy Hilfiger. You can see the lining in there, and I like it. I think it goes great with t-shirt and jeans, and it's casual, but you could dress up a t-shirt. And I wasn't really into wearing t-shirts, but when you throw a jacket over a t-shirt, it just makes it you're instantly dressed up. So that's kind of cool. Unless it's super hot out, then who wants to wear a jacket? Not me. I'd rather wear a button-down shirt that lets some air flow through there. But I digress once again. What I want to conclude this with is the idea that I do want to learn about this stuff. And when I'm just talking about, and I'm just going through and I'm going, a lot of people want to watch summaries, right? You don't want to watch you don't want to learn together necessarily. You want to kind of get it like like I did all the research. I spent 3 hours. Let me boil it down in 3 minutes for you, or 30 minutes. If I could show you what took me 3 hours to learn and give it to you, and you can get it in a fraction of the time, that's the name of the game, right? So I think with analysis, what I could do with analysis, we could look at some of these smaller cap tech companies that are being traded on these exchanges, and we can look at what they're doing on there, and see. I could chart them out, and I think that's the move. So I'm going to chart out Veracity and some of these other ones. We'll go through all my holdings one by one, and we'll look at the charts, and I'll title those episodes as such. But right now, this is just kind of like the way I've been doing these are just like basically documentary purposes. What's on my mind at the time, and whatever I want to talk about. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you found it was somewhat entertaining, and we will get back into. I mean, there was a lot of serious stuff. If you rewind this episode, you're going to see a lot of serious topics brought up, and I'd love to go into those more in depth on individual basis with you guys in future episodes. So please smash the like button, follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And that ends it for this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace, and may all of your investment dreams come true. We'll see you.